Hello, this is Spacedraptor, and today I want to talk about the future of gaming, and this is just kind of my opinion about the future of gaming, so please don't get upset or rage type at me or think I'm a fanboying for one particular cause or another. I'm not. I'm just talking about big companies and where I think they sit in the marketplace at the moment, and what I see as a degradation of AAA titles. But let me explain. So basically, I've seen, particularly in 2014 and 2015, less AAA titles being produced than what we saw in kind of 2012, 2013, where there seemed to be a big glut of them. But then I thought, well, am I just imagining this, and how long has this been going on for? So I look back, and between 2000 and 2006, when the PlayStation 2 was around, 2,469 games came out for the PlayStation 2, and they were all disc games, remember, because there was no digital download back then. So, I actually think that is a huge amount of games that were all produced on disc for the PlayStation 2 platform. Now, the PlayStation 3 has been going for 10 years up to now. And basically, I know, barring a few straddling games, you're not going to see much more hitting that in the Xbox 360. So I thought it was safe to kind of quote a figure at the moment. It may change up or down by 10 games, but it's there or thereabouts. And it's only 1,026 games. And basically, that is dramatically half the amount of games available on that to what was available on the PS2, and a lot of them are actually remastered PS2 games because that became a trend. So when you actually bring it down to what actually got produced, very little got produced on the PS3. Now I think it's actually going to be worse on the PS4 as well. I don't think you're going to be seeing that many AAA titles because they're very, very expensive to produce AAA titles. Like, you're talking about £500 million to produce a Call of Duty game. Now, can you imagine one of them failing at £500 million of a budget that's been put into making the game, and it probably only makes £100,000? That's going to be a colossal failure, and I pretty much can guarantee you will never ever see another Call of Duty game after that. They will just absolutely can the entire franchise and the entire series, and it will be no more on the first game failure. You mark my words, trust me on that one. I've seen it happen before. Like, there is no more Medal of Honor, and that was down to one bad game, which was Medal of Honor Warfighter. Some would say two bad games. They should never have broken into the modern warfare kind of space. They should have really invested money into producing World War II titles, because nobody's doing that now. And, that's a real gap in the marketplace. But, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and they changed the modern shooter to go directly in competition with Call of Duty, and it cost them the studio, basically, and I don't think it was the developers' kind of decision to make a modern warfighter. I think it was the publisher. I think it was basically EA saying, make us a modern warfighter. We think there's more money in that part of the marketplace than making World War II games, because everybody was sick of World War II games. All they had to do was rest it for a little bit and carry on with the World War II, and I think it would have been fine with Medal of Honor. But I digress. You're also seeing a lot of AAA studios going down the pan. Last year, Kyomi's hit the ropes, Sega's hitting the ropes. You got Zombie Studios that are absolutely down and out, and they did the Spec Ops series. EA closed Maxis that did SimCity and The Sims and Spore. Take-Two Interactive have closed 2K Australia that did Borderlands a pre-sequel, and that was a huge success, but they've closed the studio down. And 2K China, again, they were making Borderlands Online, and 2K China are no more. They've scrapped that whole project, and that's an end to that. And I always think, have a look at what two companies are doing. One kind of brought consoles back from a console crash with Nintendo, and one company completely weathered that storm of the console crash, and that was Activision. So I always think, look at these two companies to see where the future is lying. And there's two things happening at the moment. Obviously, Nintendo are bringing a new NX console out that nobody's ever really... They're saying it's a new concept, and I believe them when they say it's a new concept. And they say it's got industry-leading chips inside it, but everybody thinks they're thinking in terms of PS4 and Xbox One and that industry and what kind of chip would it... Well, it's got to be better than them, so... and then they're thinking cost. But they said industry-leading chips. They didn't say what industry. And I actually think the industry that they're aiming at isn't the traditional console industry anymore. I think they're going to do a console-based version of the Android, and the industry they were talking about and the leading chips they were talking about, chipsets, were for Android and the Android platform, not the traditional console platform. We'll see what happens with the NX, but I really think that's the road they are going down. And so that's Nintendo. And when I look at Activision, Activision Blizzard have just acquired King Digital, and King Digital do Candy Crush and all that. Again, it's the Android marketplace. And then you've got another player, Nvidia. Basically, they've taken the ball on because they never got a piece of the console market. So basically, they produce their own console. Rightly or wrongly, they produced a micro console, and this is a traditional console that goes into your television, but it's £150. It's not the full 350 to 400 asking price. And quite literally, you've got Metal Gear Revengeance on there. They're doing Farming Simulator. They're doing Football Manager. They're doing X-Plane, which that's an Android game anyway. But X-Plane is one of the best flight simulators I've ever played, and it's free on Android. It's absolutely cracking. You've got Doom 3 BFG edition on Android now. You've got Dead Effect 2, which is a cracking game. You've got Half-Life 2, Octodad, and the list goes on and on and on. I could just name names all day long. Lego are producing on Android now, on the Shield platform, and I think it's absolutely amazing. This console only costs £150. The games are only costing a fraction of what a AAA game would cost, and I think anybody that buys one of these would be quids in, basically, because alright, you can't buy traditional disc-based games with it, but I think the Android marketplace is cheap enough, to be honest, because this particular game on Android that we're watching now is something like £1.50, and I'll tell you now that I've had at least 4 to 5 hours gameplay out of this already. I didn't pay £1.50 for it. I actually paid 11p for it on the Steam, because I bought it part of a 10-game bundle that cost me £1.10. So basically, I paid literally 11p for this game, and you tell me how you can have 5 to 6 hours worth of fun out of 11p. And it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm seeing value in the Android marketplace as it is at the moment. And when I look at my kids and think, well, what are they playing? And my children haven't even touched a console. They are not interested in traditional consoles. We have them in the house, and they hardly play them. The only thing that ever gets their attention is Call of Duty, and they're not playing that all the time. The game they play mostly is Minecraft on their tablets. They've got the tablets edition of Minecraft, and they're all three of them. I've got three boys. They're all on a tablet, and they're all in the same game world on their tablets. And that's how they entertain themselves. 90% of the time they're playing Minecraft on a tablet. They're not even got a games machine that they're interested in. They've never been interested in the traditional gaming machines. And you've got to look at what the kids are doing to see what the future's going to hold. And when they're talking about their best experiences of childhood, like we were talking about, well, I was talking about my, the beginning of PC gaming in the early 80s, and obviously people later than that are doing YouTube channels now because they're little bit younger than me. They're talking about their experiences with Nintendo, with the NES and Super NES, and the generation after that are going to be talking about PS2 and consoles like that. But I think the generation my children are attached to, which it's probably going to be another 6-7 years before they're coming to the point where they're making YouTube videos, they're going to be talking about the tablet. And all their nostalgia is going to be attached to tablets and phone and the Android marketplace, and not the PlayStation and Xbox One marketplace. Unless PlayStation and Xbox One get really, really smart and move there very quickly with industry-leading consoles, I think they may get left behind on this one. Or maybe they're just juggernauts that can move slower anyway, and they can react slowly and still get a piece in the marketplace. I don't know. We'll see. But this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to slag off any one company. I do believe, and I think Nintendo are very, very smart, and for them to go against PlayStation with their new console and Xbox, and go for that hardcore gaming kind of a dollar, I think they would be wasting their time, if I'm honest. I think they would be much better placed in a casual market like Android. And I think that's where they're going, if I'm honest, when you see the NX. But as I say, this is my opinion. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you've disliked it, give it a thumbs down. And I will see you in the next video regardless of what we've done. And peace out. See you next video. Bye for now.